I think as managers and as a city council we thought we were doing quite well, delivering a good service. However, customers, when we went through check, told us the complete opposite.
I don't think we had any understanding of how much waste was in the system.
Thinking we were the best contractor around, but at the end of the day, when you really look at it, after doing our intervention, it just showed just how bad we were.
As managers, we were sort of looking at our KPIs to say, oh, the service is running really well. But when you start looking from outside in, the service wasn't running well at all from the customer's perspective.
Activity measures were showing us we were doing 98% all on time. 100% of actually urgent repairs were done on time. The reality was, when we got mixed up in the work, was that actually people could be waiting 6 months.
Our purpose is to do the correct work at the right time, and it sounds very simple now. It's and very easy to actually think, well, of course that was always our purpose. And perhaps that was our purpose, but we didn't understand it.
When we actually did all the steps that were involved, from the customer ringing to when it was invoiced, there was in excess of 200, I think it was around about 280 steps in total. And an understanding of how many occasions along there that a customer could actually fall out of the system and get nothing done. It was quite shocking, really.
Unbelievable how many steps there was in it, and how many handoffs, and the waste and the backflow, and it made you wonder how we actually run as a business.
It was a real wake-up call to see the staff battling with 2/3 systems in order to actually take the repair from the customer and get someone to the front door.
Every call I listened into was a customer trying to work out where their repair was up to.
And a lot of the time we were leading tenants into appointments, what suited us, suited our diary system. That generated me chasing and changing appointments all week because we could never meet them.
I always remember going out to a property in Blurton, accompanying a tradesman, and it was a block drain. And in his hand he had this little black box which kept beeping away, and I just said to him, "Terry, what's the little black box you've got?" So that's me PDA. And I said, "What are the beeps?" He says, "That's another job being loaded onto my PDA for me to go on." And I said, "How does that make you feel as an expert, a tradesman?" And he said, "Well, I know I've got to rush this job now to get to the next one." And I said, "Just out of interest, how many jobs are sitting on that PDA now?" He says, 15. So his mentality straight away was, get this job done, do what I can, don't do it properly, don't do it to a level where, we will never have to go back to it.
We were loading 10 or 15 jobs on a PDA in a morning because our scheduler rates told us that our operatives should be doing 10 or 15 jobs. But at the end of the day, because of the variation in doing jobs, they might have only done 8 jobs. So you're stuck with 7 customers who haven't received a service from us. But we constantly just kept filling the PDAs with jobs. The human element went out of the service.
Somebody would come in with a dripping tap, we'd fix it in the time frame that was allocated, say 7 days. That goes on the activity measure, job done. But if we weren't doing the right repair, in other words, we might be rewashing it instead of reseating it or replacing it, it'd be dripping again a month or 2 later. So we go and fix it again. I found as many as 13 iterations of this.
Operatives driving to and from wholesalers to collect their materials, that was jaw-dropping, the amount of money we used to spend.
We actually start analysing the materials spend and the way we were sourcing our materials. The cost of that was around about £500,000. Actually, £500,000.
We had trade operatives driving around in vehicles with probably £2,000 worth of stock on. We had no concept of whether that stock was being used to meet demand. Stock was put on because managers thought that was the stock that the guys needed. The waste surrounding that was enormous, all that money tied up driving around the city doing nothing.
We found that there were hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of waste in how we undertook our work. From driving to suppliers, when we've already gone to the job and worked out what we need, to taking waste to the dump because we don't have it collected,
And we actually found that we were wasting £500,000 a year just in wasted phone calls, in having the wrong materials, etc.
Getting an item of plant, maybe a drill. I think we had to get 4 signatures just to get a drill. The waste and cost driven in there was massive.
Because we were always selecting the cheapest repair, because we managed monthly by budget. So the monthly budget all stuck to 25 quid repair instead of a 35 quid repair. But it doesn't take an Einstein to work out, if you do a 25 quid repair 13 times, that's more expensive than doing a £35 repair once, plus your travel time and all the rest that goes with it.
Think, why are we paying 5 people to go through 40 odd timesheets 3 or 4 times in 2 days for no reason at all? It was just crazy. Just the communication we didn't have with each other when you sort of think you work as a company.
How did I feel? Well, you don't, as I say, you don't know whether to laugh or cry, and in the end, you've got to say, right, okay, it's happened, we found it, let's put it right.